if we can go maybe about 45 more minutes or so, and then at least let them go for the day after that. All right. And if they're ready, I think they are. Let's get Mr. Copeland and get them back and try to make some more progress.
Salute squad, welcome back to Fly High Productions with Mr. Follow Up. Hey yo, so check this out. We jumping back in there for the Young Thug trial, YSL RICO trial, day 119, part 4. Let's go.
You right?
Break a little early. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Steele.
Mr. Copeland, I would like to discuss with you Jeffrey Williams, JW 240DD, David States Exhibit number 378, YE as in Aaron, that's 11:52:04 a.m. to 11:52:28 a.m. And what it specifically, I believe, says, and then you tell us if I'm wrong or correct, that you said, because right now I just need help. If y'all can promise, y'all could help me, I promise. And then there's some break. I don't understand what's being said. And then you say, I'll sit here, tell y'all everything I done heard and everything I done saw and everything I can tell y'all, stuff that y'all can go get. You know what I mean? Like, and then Detective Dennis said, are you willing to do that though? And you said, I promise. I'll do it right now. I can show y'all houses. Y'all can go bust your head right at the spot. I don't care, man. I just want y'all to protect. Detective Dennis says, what do you want out of it? You said, me, my baby girl. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Me and my baby and my girl. Can you listen to it for us?
Right now, I just need help. If y'all promise y'all to help me, I promise you, bro. I'll sit right here and tell y'all everything I done heard, everything I done thought, and everything. I can tell y'all stuff that y'all can go get. Understand? Like,
Are you willing to do that now?
I promise I'll do it right now. I can show y'all how. I can y'all go butch everybody's spot. I don't care. I just want y'all to
What do you want out of it?
like that.
Mr. Copeland, what I said, was that fairly accurate of what you just heard? Or what
That's what I just heard.
Okay. And then the last one I want to focus on for this series is Jeffrey Williams or JW 240EE, Aaron, that states exhibit number 378YE. It's the June 10th, 2015 meeting, interrogation with the police, and now it's a little early. It's 10:01:46 a.m. to 10:01:59 a.m. And you said something to the effect of, I hate jail, man. And I'm just saying darn, but it says another word. I let an N get me sent away for man, them N's trying to kill me and my child, bruh, I ain't. And then he talking about killing me, bruh. Listen, I'm tell you anything. Okay? If you could just listen to this for us.
You know what they did to me?
Tell us. Tell us.
After January 10th, people started shooting at me and my family. February, I went to jail for trying to protect me and my baby and my girl at the time. They put me in Rice Street on some stuff called medical flow. It's somewhere hid in the jail. It stink. It's crazy people in there talking, yelling through the door, putting feces all on the window and on the wall. They locked me in the room. It's one door right here. It's one door right here. And it's another door back here. And it's another door back here. I'm behind this door. I don't see nobody. I don't talk to nobody. I'm by myself. I'm at the verge of losing my mind. People trying to shoot at me while they got me locked in this room. I can't talk to nobody. I can't see nobody. I'm locked in this room. They held me in that room for 3 weeks. I got out of jail. I had a court date for another county where I never even been to for some charges I never even did. I don't steal out of stores. I went down to that courthouse and tried to get it situated. Went in the wrong courtroom. Told the deputy, hey, my name is such and such, such. I missed court. I'm here to fix it. He said, oh, I gave him my name, told him what happened. He said, oh, you got a warrant. And he locked me up. They put me right back in jail. I stayed in jail a whole month. I had to use the money for selling my four-wheeler to pay an attorney to come represent me. I got the lawyer to come represent me. That lawyer, he got me a bond. A friend of mine gave my baby mama the money to pay my bond. She paid my bond. I got out of jail. The very next day, Atlanta police came into the gym with a whole lot of them. They got me, said that this my bag, this my gun. They took me from my neighborhood to Turnerfield. They questioned me. I told them it wasn't my gun. They let me go. They came back and get me June 10th. They questioned me. I was at the verge of losing my mind because every time I come outside, they keep locking me up. They got me. They did it. They held me in the interrogation room for a whole day, probably. I don't know. They put me right back in Rice Street, put me right back behind all these doors. They constantly kept doing it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, at this point, like, man, I'm tired of keep reliving this stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm sitting right here. I got cramps, man. I got knots in my stomach, man. I haven't ate none. I tried to eat yesterday. I haven't ate today. Y'all sitting up here. I asked for a break. I asked. I'm in pain right now. I understand it might be my fault. I'm telling y'all, I made it up. I lied. Damn, man. This is crazy. I'm telling y'all, my stomach hurting, man.
Well, with the honorable court's order, we're going to be leaving in a little bit of time. Can you try to just listen to the JW 240EE that I just said? If you need it, could you put in your earphone if you don't mind?
I can hear it.
Okay.
I hate jail. I hate jail, man. I'd be damn if I let nigga reach that way. Man, my nigga try to kill me and my child, bro. And then he come out and kill me, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, that's what you.
Mr. Copeland, with your background and your experiences in jail, is it fair to say that you would do anything not to go to jail? Mr. Copeland, can I ask you a couple of questions?
I'm listening.
Okay. For people who've never been to prison or jail, do you know the difference, by the way?
Y'all know the difference.
Objection around relevance.
Sustained.
Whether it's a prison or jail, is it fair to say that
Rice Street is not either one. There's not prison or jail. I don't know what that place is. This is the worst place in the world.
do you remember being in custody after Friday, June 7th, 2024, after the first time you testified before the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and before you came back in the late morning of Monday, June 10th, 2024? Do you remember where you were held?
You talking about they locked me up here?
Yes, sir.
What about it?
Do you remember where were you held in the Fulton County Jail, another jail? Do you remember?
When they took me out of here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where were you held?
They took me to Rice Street, and then the next day came, they took me from Rice Street to DeKalb County Jail. And they damn near just as worse as Rice Street.
And DeKalb County Jail, describe to the ladies and gentlemen jury what it was like when you were in that jail.
Objection relevant, Your Honor.
Goes to his motivation for testifying here.
I don't know that we need to get that far afield. He's already told us that Rice Street is horrible. It's the worst place in the world, and DeKalb is even worse. So let's move on.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, after giving law enforcement officers this information that the prosecution has played for you, January 11th, 2015, recorded interview. January 28th, 2015, recorded interview. February 20th, 2015, recorded interview. February 21st, 2015, recorded interview. June 10th, 2015, 9-hour recorded interview. You got charged with murder, right? For Donovan Thomas.
Can you say it again?
Yes.
I heard the interview. You said I got charged with murder?
Yeah. Do you remember being served? No, I'm marking Jeffery Williams number 245. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm going to show you this, Mr. Copeland. If you need any assistance, let me know. Do you remember Detective Thorpe swearing out a warrant for you for the offense of murder for you knowingly and intentionally with malice of forethought on January 10, 2015 at 330 McDaniel Street, Atlanta, Fulton County, state of Georgia, did participate in the
Objection, Your
drive-by
Honor.
shooting?
Hang on just a second. Yes?
Reading something that's not into evidence and relevance.
Okay. Well, overrule hold on relevance. What was the first thing?
That he's reading something that's not in.
All right, so have him, are you asking him whether he recognizes it? Just
Sure. Did he
ask
get
him,
charged?
do you recognize it? That's
Okay.
the way to do that.
Okay, look at Jeffrey Williams, number 245. It's several pages, but this is the first page at first. Do you recognize that as the warrant taken for your arrest for murder of Donovan Thomas by Detective Thorpe on October 20th, 2015? Yes?
Wait,
Do you recognize that?
it's a warrant paper.
For you? True?
I see my name on it.
Okay. And that's Detective Thorpe? Swore it out, right? Do you see that?
You gotta show me.
May I approach Your Honor?
You may.
May I approach you, Mr. Copeland? You see that?
Yeah.
Do you see the date on there, Mr. Copeland? October 20th, 2015?
You said who?
October 20th, it says 10/20/15, 2015. Do you,
No, I don't see it.
may I approach Your Honor?
You may. Are you going to ask him whether it was served on him? Because he didn't really answer whether he recognized.
Date?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And at that time, you were in federal custody at the Robert A. Dayton Detention Center. When I say that time, October 20th of 2015, you were awaiting the federal charges that eventually you were sentenced to 51 months in custody, right?
No, I was sentenced to 5 years.
Okay, apologize. 60 months in custody. Apologize. While you were held at the Robert A. Dayton Detention Center in Clayton County, do you remember that?
Lovejoy.
Yes, Lovejoy. Do you remember being served by a United States Marshal these warrants while in Lovejoy?
No, my attorney told me.
Okay. And you were charged with what crimes?
He just said murder.
All right. For Donovan Thomas, right?
That's what he said.
Okay. So after Detective Thorpe, you knew that he worked with Detective Gaither, right?
What you mean?
They were co-workers. They were working. They interviewed you together, interrogated you. You knew that he worked with Detective Dennis, right?
Right?
You knew he worked with federal ATF agent Cunningham, right?
Right?
And he took out a warrant for you for murder of Donovan
Right.
Thomas just 4 months after you gave the last interrogation that we have, June 10th, 2015, right?
Right?
Mr. Copeland, eventually, you went to federal custody and you entered a guilty plea for a 922G, which, forget that, for possession of firearm by convicted felon. Is that true?
Right?
And you remember going before the Honorable Judge Totenberg,
Right?
and she gave you the maximum sentence for that, 60
Right.
months. And you served 51 out of the 60 months. Is that fair to say?
Right?
Okay. I want to show you some of your prior convictions and tell me if you recognize them, okay? I'll be right back. Your Honor, may I have a second?
You may.
Man, if Woody ain't careful, he gonna end up catching the jacket for Donovan Thomas murder, aka Nut. He the only one that ever mentioned that murder.
While they're looking for that, Mr. Copeland, Jeffrey Williams wasn't charged with murder of Donovan Thomas, right?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
Even in this indictment, Jeffrey Williams is not charged with murder of Donovan Thomas. Do you realize that? And if you don't know, just say, I don't know.
Objection, Your Honor. Improper speculation.
It's the indictment on trial.
Well, it really doesn't matter whether he knows it or not. Ask your next question.
I'm just waiting on this.
Man, do y'all see how the judge keep on jumping into this? Getting on the defense head?
Mr. Copeland, I'm just going to ask you some questions while the prosecutor is looking at this, okay? While in jail, in the Fulton County Jail, as well as were you held in the Fayette County Jail? Do you ever remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just to be fair, say yes, okay, or no. And you are aware that jail calls are recorded. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Now, is it true that at times people in jail, I'm not saying you, but people in jail have contraband cellular phones, like cell phones like you would use today? They have them in the jail. A person who's in custody.
You said, do people in jail?
Don't answer that, Woody.
Yeah, or both. And if you don't know, just, I don't know.
Yeah, people in jail. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you what I've marked. I'm starting at 252J as in Jake. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Copeland, may I approach you?
Mm-hmm.
This is, I'm just going to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams 252J, okay? And if you could just take a look at this for me. Do you see what it says here? United States District Court, Northern District of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Division, United States versus you. United States of America versus you, Mr. Copeland. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And do you see your lawyer's name, Ms. Durrett?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Durrett. And do you see the Honorable Judge Totenberg's signature on there?
Mm-hmm.
And that was your judge, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And you see the date, October 24th, 2018?
Yes.
And it has an amendment to the judgment, same case number, your name, right?
Yes.
And it just has October 22, the same date, but the judge signed October 31, and it just amended your sentence. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And this is certified. Certified means the clerk, you feel that, if you want to feel it, feel that seal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And this shows that you pled guilty to the offense of possession of firearm under 18 United States Code 922G1. Do you see that?
Yes.
And your sentence is going to be on page 2, 60 months. Is that fair to say?
And 3 years supervised release. It's not on there. Is it?
It'll be on here, yes, sir. And I will show it to you. And supervised release is like what?
Probation?
Yeah. Okay. And it's right here on page 4. You see that 3-year supervised release?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of its certified document 252J. It's a conviction of Mr. Copeland from the Northern District of Georgia. The offense date is April 28, 2015. Your Honor, the judgment date is October 24, 2018, but then it was amended. It was a correction. It's October 31, 2018.
It's a minute.
I'm just going to move this to court, please. Mr. Copeland, I'm showing.
In my opinion, this whole case is about Donovan Thomas' murder, right? So, at the point where they don't convict Thug, Kenny Copeland going down.
You what's been marked as Mr. Williams number 252I as an ice cream, okay? And again, do you feel that seal on it for a certified copy? Did you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is in the Superior Court of Fulton County, and that's state of Georgia versus you.
I'm gonna quit stopping it, but I want to say this real quick. Look how my guy Brian Steele is almost in the chair with Lil Woody over there. He's setting them up. Listen close, y'all. And when it come out in the wash, what he gonna have on the set of handcuffs?
You see your name?
Yes.
And that's indictment number. It actually says criminal action number 20 SC 176912. You see that?
Yes.
And do you see where it says that you entered a guilty plea under Alford? Do you know what Alford is? Remember?
No.
Okay. And it says 5 years to serve 3 years, balance of 2 years probated. Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
On possession of a controlled substance, schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. Is that fair? That's what it says.
This what it say.
Okay. And I'm going to turn to, you were sentenced by the Honorable Judge Ingram in this courthouse. Do you remember that by any chance?
Yes.
And I'm going here to your indictment. And Judge Ingram's name used to be Judge Millender. Did you know that? And if you didn't, that's fine.
Yes, I know it.
Okay. And this indictment was returned by the grand jury on November 20th, 2020 for the offenses of participation in criminal street gang activity. But you did not plead guilty to that. You pled guilty to possession of a controlled substance, schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute, count 2. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see your signature under where it says Kenneth Copeland weighs a copy of the indictment, lists the witnesses, formal arraignment, pleads guilty to count 2? You see your signature there?
Yes.
And then the Honorable Jonathan Melnick?
Yes.
That's your lawyer, right? Former lawyer. And you pled guilty on January 25, 2022. Fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, this is a certified copy, and I would move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 252I.
Admitted.
Mr. Copeland, if you don't mind, if you could feel the seal, that shows certification. Again, Fulton County Superior Court, State of Georgia versus Mr. Kenneth Copeland. That indictment number, I'm just looking at it and reading it, 22 SC 182134. Do you see that?
Yes.
And this charges you, and you pled guilty under Alford again to possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you were sentenced to 5 years to serve 10 months in prison, balance of 4 years, 2 months to be served on probation. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And this is, again, you're represented by the Honorable Jonathan Melnick. You see that?
Yes.
And I'm going to the indictment in the same indictment number that we just said. And do you see your signature here?
Yes.
When it says you plead guilty, and it is only to the count 3. You got that?
Yes.
Is that all true, what I said? Possession found by a convicted felon. You see that?
Yes.
And the grand jury, and you pled guilty to possession of firearm by a convicted felon in the county of Fulton, State of Georgia, on the 27th day of October 2021. Did knowingly and without a lawful authority possess a certain firearm, a Glock handgun, accused having been convicted of felony in 10 SC 96938, Superior Court of Fulton County, offensive aggravated. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Having been convicted of felony on indictment number 10 SC 96938, in the Superior Court of Fulton County, Georgia, for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on March 7, 2011. Is that true?
What's true?
That's what it says.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the count that you pled guilty to. True?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 252, M as in magic.
Admitted.
And Mr. Copeland, that date, October 27, 2021, you saw a clip, I believe, of investigator, detective Viverito and you in a room,
Yes.
and that was the same day, October 27, 2021. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, I'm showing you Mr. Williams, number 252G as in Goldfetter.
Brian
And this
still know how to work the room.
Georgia, State of Georgia versus you, Mr. Copeland. This indictment number is 20 SC 17 68 51. You see that?
Yes.
And this has you pleading guilty under Alford to count 2, possession of a vehicle with an altered VIN number. You know what a VIN number is?
Huh?
Do you know what a VIN number is?
No.
Vehicle identification number?
Yes.
Okay. And it says 15 years to serve 3 years in prison, balance of 12 years on probation. You see that?
Yes.
And this date is also before Judge Ingram on the 25th day of January 2022. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And here's the indictment. Same number that I announced before. State of Georgia versus you. And charge you with count 2 with possession of a vehicle with an altered VIN number. And you pled guilty to that count and count 3.
Yes.
Willful obstruction of law enforcement. You see that?
Yes.
And that's your signature, or the judge?
Can you try turning that backup mic off? I don't know if that'll make any difference or not. Okay. I don't know why that's started happening. Go ahead.
And you pled guilty to Jonathan Melnick's your lawyer, 25th day of January 2022. Fair to say?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams' certified copy, Your Honor, 252G as a book.
Admitted.
Copeland, I am showing you what the mark is, Mr. Williams, 252F as in Fox, okay? Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Kenneth Copeland. That indictment number is 12 SC 11 3315. You see that?
Yes.
And this has you pleading guilty to certain counts, including terroristic threats, count 1, terroristic threats, count 2, terroristic threats, count 3, and 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You see that?
Yes.
And you were sentenced to serve a total of 10 years to serve 2 years in prison, balance on probation. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And this again, you feel that certification?
Yes.
And this was for the Honorable Todd Markle. Do you remember him as a judge by any chance?
Yes.
And this was the 12th day of August 2013. And that's your indictment, correct?
Yes.
And that's your signature.
Yes.
And that's what you pled guilty to, those crimes that I announced. Fair to say?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams 252F as in Fox.
Admitted.
Brian still rocking that boy to sleep.
Mr. Copeland, I'm showing you what's certified, and if you don't mind just feeling, just make sure that you feel the same seal.
Yes.
Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland, criminal action number 12 SC 110195, and this charges, and you pled guilty to 3 counts of entering an automobile, and then I'm skipping the 2 misdemeanors. I pled guilty to, but I'm skipping them. And then, actually, Actually, that's all I'm going to announce, please. There are 3 counts of entering over. True?
Yes.
And you were sentenced to 5 years, so 2 years in prison and the balance of 3 years on probation. Fair to say?
This was say.
And this was on August 12, 2013. Correct?
Yes.
Also before Judge Markham?
Yes.
The Honorable Judge Markham. And here's the indictment charging you that you signature you pled guilty to these counts. Correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of 252B as impairment.
Admitted.
Certified.
I told y'all he was getting rocked to sleep. You see him yawning?
Mr. Copeland, I am showing you in the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland, indictment number 15 SC 136794. Do you have a certification on that? If you don't mind. And this is Jeffrey Williams, 252D as in David, okay? All right. And this has you pleading guilty, sentence of 5 years to serve in prison, community time served for theft by receiving stolen property of felon. See that?
Yes.
And this was also before the Honorable Judge Markle on the 13th day of December 2018. See that?
Yes.
And this is your indictment. That's your signature pleading guilty. Is that true?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams 252D as indicated.
Admitted.
Copeland, I am showing you Mr. Williams number 252C is in collect. And it's in the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland. And you entered a guilty plea to count 1, which is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This is indictment number 10 SC 96398. Does that all look accurate?
Yes.
And you were sentenced to 10 years in confinement, but upon the service of 1 year, 9 years would be served on probation. See that?
Yes.
And tell me if this is your signature. And here you were represented by Suzanne Pomey, Pomey. See that?
Yes.
Here's your indictment, and that's your guilty plea under Alford versus North Carolina. You see your signature?
Yes.
You entered that plea on the 7th day of March 2011. Fair to say?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission is a certified copy of Mr. Williams 252C as in court.
Admitted.
And Mr. Copeland, this is Mr. Williams number 252B as in Barry. And this again is in Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland. And this is a non-negotiated plea of guilty on Alford versus North Carolina. And pleading guilty to 5 years to serve in prison, on probation. Is that what it says?
Yes.
And can you make sure that that's a certified copy?
Yes.
And what you pled guilty to? With your lawyer, Jessica Stearns, Sterns. You see that?
Yes.
And this was August 31, 2009, correct?
Yes.
And you pled guilty under Alford versus North Carolina to count theft by taking an automobile. You see that? Count 1?
Yes.
And that's your signature. I think I asked you that earlier. Is that true?
Yes.
And you did that on August 31, 2009, I think I asked you.
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams 252B.
Admitted.
When you were able to be around Jeffrey for that short period of time that you said, that benefited you because it made you more known. Am I saying that right? Is that true?
Objection on vague as to what period of time?
Street cred is what you're trying to say.
Can you rephrase your question, please?
Sure. You testified already that you were with Jeffrey for a short period of time from the end of 2014 to 2015, and you were arrested and didn't get out of custody on June 10th, 2015. So somewhere in that period. Is that fair to say?
I didn't hear you.
Okay. You were around Jeffrey Williams at times, at the end of 2014, year 2014, and then sporadically, because you kept getting arrested, but no more after June 10th, 2015, because then you're arrested and then sent to federal prison for 51 months. True?
No,
Okay, explain.
I was on around him from 14, and then we started hanging in 15.
Say it again, I couldn't hear you.
I wasn't hanging around him in 2015.
Okay.
Only the end of 2014.
Okay. And that was beneficial to you because it boosted your notoriety, meaning people took more note of you because you were around people like Jeffrey Williams and the people that he knew. Is that true?
It really was based off the experience.
Explain that to the jury.
What you mean?
Explain what you mean by it was based off the experience.
It wasn't about attention. It was just about flying on planes, going different, like just seeing more than just hanging in the neighborhood.
Before Jeffrey Williams allowed you, took you, asked you, or Tick or Mr. Trantavia Stephen, whoever, how far outside of the Atlanta area had you ever been?
Only once I've been to, no, I'm lying. Twice I've been out of town, but it was just, I went with, when I got out of jail in 2013, my baby mama, she was going to college in South Carolina. So I traveled down there with her. And then when my friend got killed, I stopped. But before that, I had went with some old friends. He took me deep sea fishing, but that was it. But
Had you, in those experiences, had you ever been on an airplane?
no,
Or did you drive?
yeah, we drove.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Steele, is this a good time to stop?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and break for the day. I will see y'all back here at 9 in the morning. Just a reminder, wear your juror badges. Don't talk about the case with anybody. Let anybody talk about it with you, including amongst yourselves. Don't use the internet or any other kind of source to try to find out information about the case.
I can't help but to feel like she riding with the defense right now.
Any kind of media account
Because for the last 3 days, she just been steady, constantly interrupting Brian Steele cross-examination on Woody.
All rise for the jury. Can I leave?
Yes, we'll see you back at 9 also.
About to get a little boring now. The state and the defense gonna have their arguments, and they possibly gonna discuss more evidence to be presented in the case. But was it me, or do y'all feel like the Judge Whitaker,
Sorry we're having to break early.
was constantly intervening on?
Y'all need to take up with the court. Anything we can.
She was constantly intervening on Brian Steele's cross-examination.
No problem. Hang on just a second. So time-wise tomorrow, what are we anticipating in terms of?
I will be done, in my estimation, which is horrible typically, but I will be done.
Well, you're a lawyer, so we don't estimate time well.
Okay. Well, then my guess is I will be done at or before lunch. When I say at or before, your honorable court starts right on time. I should be done by 11 o'clock is my belief.
Okay. And do we anticipate cross-examination by any of the other defense attorneys?
He gonna get a fresh 2 hours to grill Woody tomorrow.
Depending on how much Mr. Steele covers that I intend to cover, but probably around 20 minutes is all I need.
Good evening, Your Honor. Yes, it'll be a brief cross-examination.
All right.
Thank you.
No, Kendra, Your Honor, I was anticipating a day.
A day? Okay.
But I'm going to try not to be repetitive of some of the issues that Mr. Steele is covering. So I'm going to try to shorten it.
All right. Well, then clearly we will not be getting, and I would assume there's then going to be redirect. The reason I ask is I'm not sure exactly when we're moving to the next witness or if the order of witnesses is still the same. And I had heard from the attorney for Mr. Sledge that he has conflict at least for part of tomorrow, but it doesn't sound like that will matter. So, and do you anticipate that he would be the next witness after Mr. Copeland?
He was, and I've just seen the same notification from Mr. Wright that you did.
Okay.
So, but I had reached the same conclusion that the court did regarding our likelihood of even reaching him.
Okay, but it may be, so given that we're off Thursday, Friday, and Monday, it would probably be Tuesday at the earliest.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe if you want to communicate that that's when we anticipate reaching him. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay.
I don't even know why it makes a difference because we've been going on for a couple of years now.
Work on the case. Or just take a break in the case. See y'all at 8:40.
I appreciate y'all rocking with me over here at Fly Productions. Hey, I'm almost willing to make a bet here. Somebody's going to jail for Donovan Thomas murder, right? The question is, will it be Young Thug and the gang? Or will Kenny Copeland catch this rap because he's the only one that mentioned this murder? He's the only one that says that he knew anything about the murder. And with him having information, that's got to tie him in there some type of way. Nevertheless, y'all, tune in tomorrow. I'll be here bright and early. What she say? We starting at 9, right? Y'all could probably catch me about 8:50 if I ain't late. Hit your notification bell and you'll be one of the first to be notified once I go live. Till then, I am Mr. Follow Up, and this is Fly High Productions. Squad up.